Father. I am here. Do you hear me? I gave you the best I could. Why did you disown me? I have your blood in my veins. How could you? Do I mean nothing to you? Why did you grieve for him? He was nothing. I am better than he was. People will follow in my footsteps. Father.
Hello Reformers, and welcome to a special feature of We the Revolution. This is a story-based game where you play as a judge in Paris, and if you know me, my judgment is probably not the best, so we're going to have a pretty amusing time of things here. The art style is absolutely fantastic. If you'd like to check out the game, there is a link in the description. So let us begin. So here we are at our desk. Remind me next time that I want to stop drinking this cloudy rotgut. Remind me before I drink it. We're disgracing Themis. Is someone coming? Yeah, do bear in mind, by the way, I'm English, so I am going to pronounce every single word that I don't recognize extremely badly, and I do apologize. So just bear that in mind. Anyway, is someone coming? Not entirely sure. This was bound to happen. I told you. Papa, you said we would go. You promised. Papa had a lot of work. Yes, he was drinking. Don't tell him that I told you. Yes, a lot of heavy glasses. You promised me. I can't anymore. I'm fed up with asking. Mama is angry because... Quiet. Today your favorite son wanted to prove he was more honorable than his father, so he started a fight. A 5-year-old boy, for God's sake. Our neighbors wanted you to explain that to them, but, well, you were fighting for justice at an inn. Damn you, you bloody drunk. Mother. Alright, so we can now drag and drop documents to manage their layout. Click to display their contents. React to events. Ignoring them may have severe consequences. This is very much like Papers, Please, isn't it? And I haven't played Papers, Please, unfortunately. I know I should, but I just never got around to it. Anyway, review detailed information about current events, actions, and characters. Ooh, now this is... Oh yeah, I'm liking this already. Consider the effects and decide the defendant's fate. I am loving the art style as well, by the way. It's a really, really unique kind of look. And we can change the game settings. Can I change the difficulty to extremely easy? Because I am going to die very quickly. I'm going to get overthrown or something. Review the current balance of power in Paris and your position therein. Intrigues are complex conflicts between you and another political player. A defeat may turn out to be disastrous for you. Influence points are the main currency in the game. Use them wisely. Pay close attention to the changes in your influence and relations with factions at your notifications right there. Some of your decisions and changes in the world of the game may cause global modifiers to come into action. These factors affect relations, reputation, and influence. You can review them in the notebook. Right. Okay, so there's the notebook. Let's have a look at the news. Ooh, here we go. Each action may require a different number of influence points and have a different chance of success. Consider them carefully. Alright, so neighborhood gossip. Your addictions are no longer a secret. The fact that other children are bullying your son because of them is a minor problem. But who is spreading those rumors? It is likely to be one of their parents. They could have whispered into their children's ears whom they shouldn't play with and why. They might even have spiced the story up with a lie. But who will hear it next? Right, so I could ignore this. Or, I don't know what this... Oh, that's close. I don't really want to close it. So I think we're going to talk eye to eye. Shall we try that? Influence points -1. I hope that that actually resolved things relatively nicely. What about the notebook here? Alright, so negative relations with factions mean negative consequences for you, e.g. the fervor in Paris Rising. Reputation impacts everything in the world of the game. Factions, family relations, the audience's attitude, the fervor in the sections, and even the ability to persuade other characters. So obviously reputation is very important. You have a set amount of influence points per day. In the future, you will be able to increase this limit. Oh, I was actually wondering about that. That's nice. Very good. Okay, so as you can see, we can actually give out death penalties, prison, and acquittals. And, yeah, knowing me, I'm going to give the death penalty to the worst, to the worst possible person, like the most innocent person, and I will, let free the mass murdering person or whatever. But, hopefully that's not going to be the case. Anyway. This is a case file right here. Review charges and facts. This will make it easier for you to unlock questions for the defendant. Right, so to Judge Alexis Fidel, yeah, once again, my pronunciation is not going to be good. We have not expected this kind of behavior from your son, although apparently we should have. Innocent child's play turned into an assault on our children. Can I click on this? Yes, I can click on this. Finding links. Find the correct links to unlock questions for the defendant. Choose a line of inquiry and link it to the right category. Alright, so child's play, right. So let's have a look here. Some cases may contain traps. Read through the file thoroughly to find the lines of inquiry that are relevant. And we have 2 mistakes possible, I suppose. So how do I actually link these things? Okay. So I can link it to the victim, extenuating circumstances. Question discovered. There we go. I linked it to the course of events. Now, we probably want to do something else here. Injured Antoine. Is he the victim? Question discovered. Aha. And we have 1 trap. So let's have a look. Shall we ask a question? Yes, here we go. Gather information and influence the jury's attitude by questioning the defendant. To ask questions, you have to first unlock them in the inquiry linking menu, which we've just done a little bit of. Being in the jury's good graces allows you to find out which way they will sway after you have asked a question. Right. What exactly were they saying? Are you too drunk to guess? I was not asking you. They were yelling that you are... Well, I told them that it's not true, and they started calling me names. They called me a drunkard's son. Right. Who started the fight? I can tell you who ended it. I think it was me. I kicked the one on the left and then wanted to get the one on the right, but they ended it. They knocked me to the ground and paid me back for hitting them. Right. Okay, so let me see here. So I can now choose a verdict if I want to. Obviously, I'm probably not going to be doing this just yet. Make the most important decision, condemn the defendant or deem them not guilty. Sign the document to legitimize your verdict. So obviously I'm not going to be doing that just yet, I don't think. Case file. We should probably have a look at this again. So let's see. Possibility of repeating. What about a chipped tooth? Does he have a chipped tooth? Fighting children? We should probably go for extenuating circumstances. Incorrect link. Right. Chipped tooth? Victim? Yes. Question discovered. There we go. Now, possibility of repeating. We might want to go... we were caught in a trap right there. We got caught in a trap. Okay, so we have 1 question to reveal. Unfortunately, we will not be able to ask it. So let's speak to... Yeah, we go. Speak to the defendant and we'll see. Did you really break Antoine's tooth? Frederic is just a child. I don't know. I don't think so. Did you hit him in the face? I think I kicked him, but not that hard. Aha. I see. Interesting. Okay, so that to me says that he is not guilty of breaking his tooth, in my opinion. So I think we should probably just go not guilty, in my opinion. I mean, let's just have a look here. Case file. An assault on our children. Ah, the younger one now has... Ah, yes. You know what? I should have read this. I should have read this beforehand. Yes, okay. Just bear in mind, this is the first time I'm playing this game, so obviously there is going to be a little bit of learning involved, but in my opinion, that is what makes these kinds of games really, really fun, because you get to experience every single thing firsthand. Obviously, this video is going to give you a little bit of an idea if you're going to like the game, and maybe you'll consider purchasing it. Who knows? By the way, this video is not sponsored. Not sponsored. I just think it's really cool, and I wanted to show it to you. Anyway. We hope that you will punish your child accordingly. Should the situation, if I could actually speak, repeat itself, we will react more decisively. I am sure we can deal with this with a gambler and a drunkard, even if he is a judge. We will not let our children be hurt. And then we could have unlocked some more questions, but I think I'm pretty... Front tooth, Antoine, yeah, innocent child, yeah, okay. I'm actually going to pass judgment, and I'm going to say that he is not guilty. I find the defendant not guilty. Yes. Let's do it. Can I... Ah, there we go. I have to write my signature, of course. You did well. A man has to defend the honor of his family no matter what. I mean, come on. This little person, man, little young man. Ah, yes. This young man right here is obviously, technically, my son, I think. So, obviously, we're probably not going to pass judgment on him, but who knows? Maybe it would have been a better idea. Because now we are going to face the wrath of the other parents, perhaps. But hopefully they're not going to drag me out of the courtroom and hit me over the head with all of their implements. Who knows? Those children are so small and they already know the truth. The father of my children is a lying drunk and a gambler. Are we? Oh no. Bernard used to worship you, but he soon grew up. Now it is Frederic's turn to learn the truth that echoes in the streets. He's no longer fearing your anger. He knows that your threats are empty. Frederic is only starting to learn the truth about his father from the streets. I was unaware that Mathilde had such a temper. As was I. We will wait outside, as always. Alright. Okay, so, well, at least we dealt with the first case relatively easily. That is, of course, the tutorial.
Paris. Liberté! We were enchanted by the idea of freedom. We could not resist it. Whole families took to the streets. France was never so happy. We were enchanted by the idea of freedom.
But the main problem is, they were enchanted by it, but maybe also corrupted by it at the same time. Anyway, let's have a look. Expected sentence. Find out which verdict is expected by the factions and your close ones. Right, so it seems like jail is expected by the looks of things. Revolutionaries and common folk are expecting prison, and no one is expecting acquittal by the looks of things. So this guy, obviously, let's have a look at his case file real quick. Compiled by Richard Mornier. Jean Renard, a 45-year-old innkeeper, has been charged with fraud. He is accused of diluting alcohol in his tavern, tricking his clients into paying extra. Guests came with their minds set on a specific goal, getting roaring drunk. But instead of staggering out after drinking 2 pitchers of wine or several pints of beer, they would sit in the inn until morning, still sober and completely penniless. The innkeeper's fraud came to light when one of the customers discovered the scam and caught the cheater in the act. The man entered the host's cellar and witnessed him diluting the alcohol in the barrels with ordinary water. As a result, customers received only 4 parts of what they paid for and 1 part from the water carrier. Interesting. Okay, so diluting alcohol. So let's have a look here. Alright, so diluting alcohol. He definitely has... wait a minute. Adding water. There's definitely a witness. Oh, incorrect link? Really? Okay, so what about diluting alcohol motive? Oh. Well, that was not very good. Okay, well, what about witnesses? All links have been used. I am. Your mentor's help costs 2 influence points. Sure, I'll use them. I am awful. Let me just tell you that. I am absolutely terrible. Okay, motive. Okay, well, I have no questions for you, sir. I have no questions whatsoever. Please introduce yourself. My name is Jean Renard. Nothing but a fraud, they say. Systematically opposing the opinion of the jury may lead to serious consequences. Yeah, well, everyone seems to think that he should go to jail, and it seems like, according to the case file, he is actually guilty, so maybe I should just do that. That's the thing. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to actually ask questions, but I am absolutely awful at these kinds of things. Right, so the father had a rare episode of foolishness when he decided to stand up to someone stronger, threatening him with a fist, ensuring his children they are safe by his side. He did not listen to your arguments. Furthermore, he gave a precise description of where you can shove them. Right, so I obviously cannot do anything about this right now. We're going to lose 2 reputation if we hire some thugs, by the looks of things. So, yeah, we're actually, I guess we're going to have to... We're going to have to do this. Commence the trial. In difficult times like these... People like to seek... yes, this is basically just the text that we've seen. Alright, well, I'm sorry, but I am a terrible judge. I would not be able to replace Judge Judy, that's for sure. She would do a much better job than I would. And, okay, so it seems like prison. Everyone loves me for this, so I guess I will sign it. Great. Really wish I could have asked some questions, actually. A quick sting, yes. I got the Steam achievement, a quick sting. If you can't actually see that on the screen right now, I assume that means come to a verdict without even asking any questions. I'm so sorry. I hope that he's not going to go away for too long. I don't think he's going to go away for too long, maybe a couple of months, but this is quite far back in time, so maybe it's going to be a little bit longer. A verdict already? What about the trial? Ah, yes, they're not very happy about that, as you can see. Unlocked questions 0. -1 reputation. But the factions do start to like me a little bit, so I guess we're going to move on to the next part. Oh, wow. Okay, so let's have a look here. May I remind you that you promised to join me? I have a feeling that tonight's moon favors gamblers. Click to move on to the next part. Okay, yes, I did that. Thank you. Though it does not favor spouses. God should grace us with wives who understand the importance of an evening game of dice. They should also know that the right amount of wine guarantees a lucky roll. I should go home. Bringing a judge to the game has benefits. Other players will surely not cheat. That is not a strong argument. My name is Jacques-Louis David, I think. I am but a humble painter, not a silver-tongued judge. You are a sly politician, Jacques. As a politician, I understand the importance of keeping promises, and you, my friend, are trying to get out of yours. You know what? I'm not gonna go with him because, let's face it, he's just trying to get us to go there so that they don't scam him out of all his money. So we're just gonna go home. Not tonight, Jacques. Yes, not tonight. We're gonna earn a couple of points with our wife, hopefully, and maybe make our son a little bit prouder of us. Late evening, the judge's house. Seems like we made maybe the right decision. What? Do you not want to berate me like you always do? I'm glad you're home. Are you aware that Frederick sometimes imagines you as a deep-sea sailor? He dreams that you visit distant countries and have wonderful adventures. But he would rather have you by his side, on land. We all want that. I don't want to watch the storm blow your lifeboat away and bury it beneath the waves. There are no waves. The storm is getting closer. Dark clouds already hang over the shore. Just wait until they finish building the guillotine. Your oars will break at once, and the waves will take you to a place you'll wish you'd never set foot on. A place without us. But I actually came home because I was like, I would like to reconcile a little bit here. Your family loves you, but we won't find you in the darkness that has already begun to reach for you. Oh dear. Is that because I made that judgment on that guy a little bit too quickly, perhaps? Alright, so let's have a look at this. Oh dear. Family actions. Upon returning home, you can decide how you would like to spend the rest of the day. Evening with grandfather, a viola concerto, a demonstration, or an evening stroll. Or we can go and speak to some of these people, maybe? Each action will affect the other members of the family as well as their attitude towards you. Each character's attitude can provide you with or deprive you of certain bonuses. For example, reputation. Aha. Your youngest son is special. His attitude makes the other family members like you slightly more. Take good care of him. Okay, so he's going to be the first one to die then, because it's me playing. Isn't that going to be the case? Okay, so can I not go and speak to him, or evening with grandfather? Okay, so I have to choose an action to see its description. Okay. Sit down with your father and listen to the stories of days bygone. No, let's not do that. Maybe this one. Bernard needs to learn how to deal with stage fright if he wants to be a professional musician. You will have to endure an hour of racket. Take your sons to a pro-revolution demonstration. Let them see real life up close. Or you take your family for an evening stroll around Paris. It will let your father stretch his old bones a little. He does not like that. You know what? Let's go to the concerto. Why not? Alright, so their reputation bars are going up a little bit, as you can see right there. And obviously our father is not having a good time there, but thankfully because our son is favored by quite a few of our family members, it is making their bars go up a little bit. Today, the people of Paris commemorate Jacques-Guillaume Simonau. Yes. Mayor of that place. I'm not even going to try anymore, mainly because it's insulting to so many people. Oh well, he was lynched by a furious mob before performing his duties to France. This march shall symbolize the unity of our society in the hope that the most violent stage of the revolution is past us. Let us make sure that no other loyal servant of France becomes a victim of such hatred ever again. That's from the king. It's from the king himself. Very nice. Alright, so I actually don't know what he said. I'm going to say yes. We ought to show that we oppose the self-appointed executioners and stand alongside our victims. Okay, I wonder why the king has taken the trouble to show up. Oh no, that is unexpected. Is that actually the king right here? Is that actually the king standing before me right now? Continue, please. I am merely an observer. Do not change your habits for me. I heard a thing or two about a young and ambitious judge of the tribunal. I was curious whether he is guided by justice or by entertainment, as some would say. Oh dear. That is problematic. Oh, hello there. The king is literally sitting right there. I'm a bit worried about this. Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, So let's have a look at the case file real quick. The defendant is Olivier Mugler, a 65-year-old master locksmith who is famed among Parisian burglars as an expert on unopenable locks. Last month, he was commissioned by the owners of a Parisian glassworks to construct locks for ornate chests for valuables, presumably as gifts for their wives. The craftsman praised his latest creation as thief-proof. Shortly following their completion, the industrialist's houses were hit by a series of burglaries committed by a recent newcomer to Paris. Aha. The thief from Orléans was caught in the act and shot by Ferdinand Zalan. Okay, an expensive map of Paris with the houses of the recently robbed industrialist marked on it was found on the deceased. Surprisingly, Zalan had given Mugler an identical map as advance payment. This deposit was in addition to the agreed remuneration. I'm so terrible with this particular word, absolutely terrible. Okay, so is there a second page? Yes, there is actually a second page. Let's have a look at that. Further interesting information came from the owner of the Ginger Margot Inn. She recalled that on the night preceding the burglary, the locksmith met there with a man she didn't recognize. Based on her description, we were able to identify him as the aforementioned Hector Vian. The men allegedly engaged in an evening of drinking, sponsored by Mugler. Evidence a map of Paris found on Hector. Right. Master Locksmith. Oh, this is... Oh, okay. You know, because I was actually unable to do anything previously, I am very skeptical I'll be able to do anything this time as well. So, let's have a look. Drunken evening. Don't we have evidence of that? We have... No, we have an evidence... Don't we have evidence for the map? Yeah, we have this. This is evidence. There we go. Question discovered. Fantastic. Series of burglaries. Course of events, yes. Famous thief. We do have... Don't we have evidence of that? Yeah, we do have evidence of that. Okay, fantastic. And we do have... maybe an accusation? No, that's the incorrect link. Lock construction accusation. No? No, that's not it? Okay, what about the course of events? Ah, there we go. Course of events is good. Okay, so drunken evening. Haven't we done that as well? No, we haven't. Okay, question discovered. Fantastic. Marks on the map. I guess what we could do is... probably evidence? Yeah, there we go. And now we have Master Locksmith, offender's personality, or extenuating circumstances. We're going to go for the circumstances, I think. Yes, there we go. And we still have something else to ask here. There we go. We actually unlocked all of the questions. I'm really proud of myself, but I guess we just got a bit lucky there. A bit lucky. Alright, so let's have a look at our notebook. Oh, our son's drawing. Oh, look. Oh. I was going to say, oh, how sweet of him, but now I'm not particularly pleased. Oh, well. Yes. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Okay. Hopefully we'll do a better job a little bit later on. In the city, only the dead are free of addiction. What do you care about people's idle gossip? Right. Okay, so we have the protocol right there. Okay, so we can now ask him some questions. According to the case file, you are citizen Olivier Mugler. Is that correct? Indeed it is. May I have a request? I would like to sit down. I'm an old man, you see. Basic respect for the judiciary. For some reason I'm having some problems saying all these words. Requires that you remain standing. Do the names Salan, Ruder, and Rue mean anything to you? Why are you so determined to harass an old man? They sound like the names of my debtors. Debtors? They are the victims of activities you conducted. You mean locksmithing? Right, so the revolutionaries want him to go to prison, and the common folk want him to be acquitted. He is an old man. So, influence on the jury's opinion. This is going to cause them to want him... Oh, wow, isn't that death penalty? That seems like the death penalty to me. This is acquittal, and this is... I don't even know what that means. So I guess it's even. I guess that's more even. So let's have a look. Did you tell Hector Vian how to open the locks in the victim's trunks? I understand what you're implying, but consider this. If he saw the secret of my locks, then my business would be over. Word spreads fast among thieves. Oh, that's actually true. Rumor has it that you are one of the best locksmiths in Paris. I should deny it for modesty's sake, but I will not. That cannot be true, though, as a random thief from Orléans was easily able to open your locks. Well, then, he must have been one of the best thieves in Orléans. Let's be serious. Every lock can be picked with the right talents, even my locks. Right, so are we gaining something from that, or are we losing? I'm not entirely sure. Did you give Hector the map? I gave nothing to Achilles, Hector, or any other Greek. Okay, well, we're calling in the witness now. Okay. Hello, Jean. You will not speak unless called upon. Naturally, of course. What went missing during the burglary? My house was the first one to be robbed, and in my case it was mostly valuables. At Rue's house, he will not say it himself, and I do not want to go to prison. It was the letters he had exchanged over the years with King Louis. Ah. Salan did not lose a thing. He shot that vermin in the act. That is what he said. What happened to the items he had stolen? That still remains unknown. According to Salah, Hector had nothing with him. Ferdinand suspects he had hidden the other valuables somewhere. He hid the other items before robbing the last house? Strange. Right, so we can ask him 2 questions. You look upset, what are you afraid of? Or, advance payment in the form of a map, its disappearance, the murder of a burglar, and a lack of payment for services. We're going to say that. It all makes for a rather strange story, a suspicious one, too. I do not... What are you mumbling? What are you mumbling? I'm mumbling, apparently. I'm tripping over my words all the time. If I say something, will I be free? He knows something. Yes, he certainly does, random member of the court. Please testify what you know immediately. That map was Salan's idea. He told the thief about the advance payment we gave to the locksmith and proposed that Hector steal it. And he did? Indeed, but then the bastard robbed us. Later we were forced by Salan not to pay the locksmith because he sent the thief after us, and that's when it all went down the drain. Ah, that's the bourgeoisie for you. He fooled them all in one fell swoop. It sounds like Citizen Salah had everything planned, however there is no evidence to support the claim. Perhaps it is Citizen Ruder, that is plotting against his partner and wants to frame him. And Hector is actually dead, so you'll not be able to shed light on any of this. If I was younger, I'd give that Salan a drubbing, that pig, that good-for-nothing lying bastard. Please restrain yourself. The testimony of a witness is still not evidence, neither of Citizen Salan's guilt nor of your innocence. Right. How much did you charge for your services? Does that actually matter? I guess we should probably ask him all the questions. 3,000 francs. Tidy sum that is. If you were a master locksmith, you'd charge that much too. That is quite a substantial fee. Indeed. That's how much it costs to have high-quality locks made by a master with nearly 50 years of experience, and those bastards never paid me a single franc. The victims did not pay you the agreed amount? Not a franc. I'd beat that money right out of them, but I'm too old for that. Right. So they didn't actually pay him anything. Were you the one who marked the addresses of the three victims on the map? Maybe that's the reason, by the way. Maybe that is actually the reason why it was decided by him that he would actually rob the victims because he wasn't paid by them. That might make sense. Were you the one who marked the addresses of the 3 victims on the map? I didn't mark anything. The houses of your clients, not victims, are marked on the map. I don't know who marked them. Maybe you should ask the person you found the map on. Maybe the court made the marks and has no memory of doing so. Do you not think there are too many coincidences in your story? You obtain the map, but lose it, and then it is found on the thief who has robbed your clients. I know nothing of coincidences. I only make locks. Right. Interesting. Do you recognize this map? No, I don't recall ever seeing it before. Ferdinand Salah claims that he gave you this map as advance payment for your services. He claims what? That wicked wretch of a second-rate merchant. He gave me a scrap of paper as payment for making 3 locks and said it's supposed to be worth more than the 3,000 francs he owes me. So apparently he did. He gave him a scrap of paper. While frauds remain at large. Silenced. So this map does belong to you. It doesn't. So where is the map that you received from Citizen Salah? I lost it, but it wasn't even worth a loaf of bread, so I surely won't shed a tear. But if you have it, maybe you stole it from me. You'd better make a note that Olivier Mugler demands remuneration. Ugh, why? Why every time? I keep wanting to say remuneration. Remuneration? Ugh, whatever the case. Oh dear. Okay, so he did say that he was given a scrap of paper by Salah. Did he not just now say that? Let's have a look. Did you know Hector before? This is the first time I've heard the name. That is interesting, as you were seen draining several bottles of wine together at the Ginger Margot Inn. Is that a crime? No, but the question is, why are you denying it now? Was your drinking spree just a deception for discussing the burglary? Nobody I had a drink with introduced themselves as Hector. I didn't plan any heist with Hector, Viktor, or Hugo. I'm a locksmith and I earn good money from it. Burglaries are for vagrants without a job. Okay. You were commissioned by the victims to make chest locks. Who installed them? It was me, naturally, and all in agreement with the contract. My job was to prepare and install the locks, and the employer was only to come and see whether the work was completed, and pay, of course. Was the installation carried out at your workshop? No, on site at the client's property. None of those idlers bothered to deliver the trunks to my workshop, so I had to strain my old legs. Does that mean you knew the addresses of the victims? How else would I get there, blindfolded and on a wagon? Yeah, that was a bit of a stupid question. Me, isn't it? Okay, so, Right. So we've asked him all the questions, and now we basically have to make a decision. The jury votes in favor of acquitting the defendant. They find him innocent. Personally, I mean, everything according to the evidence for me right now says that he is innocent, because while he did receive a scrap of paper from Salah, which could have been the map, it does not prove that it was actually the map. But he could be lying. I mean, you know, he could technically be lying. So I suppose we're just going to acquit him, because if the jury votes in favor of that, then it might make the most sense. But for me, I'm skeptical. I'm going to acquit him, though, and we'll see what happens here. As you can see, the common folk are liking us, but the revolutionaries are not. But we're just going to go for it. He's an old man. If he is deciding to rob them because they didn't pay him, then that's his business, you know, because it's not good for him not to be paid in the first place. If he does a job, he is expected to be paid, of course. That's the way it should be. So we're going to acquit him for now. We're going to find him not guilty. The verdict for Citizen Olivier Mugler is not guilty. Lead the defendant away. To be honest, this does bear the marks of social justice. They would not pay him, so he had them robbed. There is balance here. Well, that's what I said. I said that. I said that if they wouldn't pay him, then if he does rob them, then that's kind of justice, isn't it? Well, whatever the case, I feel like we made the right decision, even though we are losing quite a lot of reputation with the revolutionaries, and it might come back to bite us. Look, an authentic map by Turgot. It would be a pity if it rotted in a safe deposit box. We cannot do that. These are court deposits. Well, Mathilde did tell me long ago to take care of my study at home. There you go. I know someone who can remove these marks without damaging the map. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay. We're apparently pocketing some evidence.
King Louis XVI. There were people who truly loved him. He reminded the French they had noble ancestors. Do not be manipulated by people who are not bearing the burden of responsibility. This saddened me. Someone had advised him to say that. Someone who was well aware of the cold, inevitable wind of change. I did not pity the king, but those who will come after him, as they will not have great ancestors.
Well, Frenchmen march in the streets of Paris side by side, one line after another, to commemorate Jacques, the mayor, yes. He was murdered by a furious mob, punished for a law he did not enact, but was obliged to observe. Freedom of speech killed him. If we understand this as the right to cast stones to show one's discontent, the right to murder people because you deem them responsible for your miserable life, surely the people of Paris would prefer if we said that nothing happened. Your son is rather good with the viola. He is both talented and enthusiastic. I would prefer that he was as enthusiastic about the law books I give him. Maybe his destiny is to become an artist, not a lawyer. Mother likes to hear me playing, and there is nothing more boring than law. See, he would rather let his career rely on the humors of the people. There are many ways to rescue France. Believe me, our country desperately needs something to ennoble it. The power is in the hands of simple, illiterate people. Let him rescue their souls with music. That is better than boring laws and clauses. And with that, we're going to end this episode off here. If you'd like to see more of We the Revolution, then by all means let me know. Otherwise, there is a link in the description to the Steam store page. I thank you very much for joining me and for watching, and I will see you next time.